As most of the people here in this room know, education support professionals are the glue that keeps schools moving. They hold them together. I know that teachers cannot do their work without our ESPs.
That's right. That's right.
Administrators need them.
Yes.
In fact, schools just simply cannot operate without our ESPs.
That's right. Yep.
For students, our ESPs are the first adults many see in the morning, and they're the last ones that they see when they leave.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, ESP compensation doesn't match the contributions of the ESPs in our schools.
I know that's right. Yep.
Many of them hold multiple jobs. We know ESPs with negative paychecks because they're paying for the cost of their insurance. Staffing is at a crisis in Minneapolis and many other school districts around the state, especially in special education. Education Minnesota is working with all of our ESPs to talk about the issues that we're going to be talking about tonight. We're talking about negotiating a living wage for all our ESPs, including our ESPs here in Minneapolis.
Yep.
Our students' needs are so high, our program requires 12 special education assistants and 2 interveners to support our 5 teachers with students' intense medical, behavioral, and academic needs. There are currently 5 special education assistant vacancies in our program that serve some of Minneapolis Public Schools' most vulnerable students. Despite the best efforts staff are giving, students are being underserved. The persistent staffing problems in the Alpha program and across the district are because of inequitable wages. We have had passionate educators that loved working with our students leave because they can't afford to work for Minneapolis Public Schools. Since I've been there my 4 years, every year we've lost at least 2 people in the beginning of the year, and that's not including during the school year as it goes on. I'm thinking Sam was an SCA at Roosevelt last year who went on to a different district because he knew he couldn't afford coming back to Minneapolis Public Schools. Kayla went to a different district as well because she couldn't afford the cost of her health insurance. She didn't get paid for almost 2 months after having her baby. Has a family, has a husband that works seasonal work. It was very hard for them to pay their rent. We are going to keep losing amazing educators that want to be here because Minneapolis Public Schools refuses to pay ESP a living wage. I'm here today because I'm an advocate for my students, and to advocate for my students, I have to advocate for the staff here. We cannot do our job well, legally, adequately if we do not get paid enough for people that want to come and stay.
At an increasing number of schools, we're unable to hire enough ESP to fill vacancies, and we're hearing about more ESPs leaving because they cannot make ends meet. ESP are critical to our students' education, and yet some of our lowest paid educators in our schools.
That ain't right.
Right.
We are negotiating our contract right now with the Minneapolis Public Schools. Despite new money to hold the special education cross-subsidy flat, new money from the state on the formula, and significant and persistent vacancies and turnover in our ESP unit, the district is still proposing to freeze steps and are leaving our special education assistants, among others, behind. When we surveyed our members last spring, 49% said that they work at least 2 jobs, and another 33% said that they work at least 3 jobs to make ends meet.
That's not right.
ESP are on public assistance, and some of us are homeless. While the district has proposed some progress, a significant correction is needed in our wages, or the district will continue to deal with the types of situations that Mary was talking about earlier. We are losing institutional memory and some of our most important members to neighboring districts. Recently, 2 ESP left the district from Patrick Henry High School. One will start at a pay rate equivalent to the ending pay rate of Minneapolis Public Schools employees doing the same work, and the other will start out making $58,000 a year to do the work that our members do here. These 2 ESP happen to be in our highest paid positions in our group, who make up less than 10% of those folks. Since 2008 and 2009, ESP have seen 6 years of 0% wage increases, 3 years of 1% wage increases, and 1 year of a 2% wage increase. It is time for MPS to make the necessary choices to correct this historical neglect. Our students, our families need this to happen so our schools can be the places that they deserve. Come on.
That's right.